welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we're going to talk about Stan and Lisa in the last episode of Life After Lockup. And so a fan actually ran into Stan. They posted this picture of Stan on Reddit yesterday, and however he has his hairstyle actually looks pretty good, and his legs are pretty toned, so it looks like all that working out he's doing is actually paying off. And Lisa posted a picture when she went to go get a loan. She said, "Title Max, thank you guys so much for the awesome experience." But anyways, let's talk about Lisa and Stan in the last episode. So we got Stan and his little spray on butter that he was spraying on his bread. WeTV be cracking me up with some of their close-up shots because they had to get a close-up shot of that for some reason. So remember in the last episode, Lisa ended up walking out on Stan after she found out he was texting with another woman. So Lisa walks in the door the next morning and she said she spent the night with her brother Rick. So Lisa said while she was at her brother Rick's house, she decided to do some soul searching in her Bible, and she realized that God doesn't give up on people, so she shouldn't give up on Stan. So Stan apologized to Lisa, and Lisa was like, "What are you apologizing for?" She was just trying to see if Stan really recognized what he did wrong, and Stan was like, "Well, for everything I did, everything I said." And then finally he said, "I'm sorry for texting Tina." And Lisa said, "Well, if you're really sorry, then you would just stop doing it." And Stan said he hasn't texted Tina anymore since that incident, and he asked Lisa if she wanted to be exclusive, and Lisa just rolled her eyes and she was like, "What? We were exclusive. I thought we were exclusive at least." Lisa was like, "Come on, man, I live in your house." And Lisa said her and Stan have had plenty of conversations about being exclusive with each other. So she's confused why he's acting like this all of a sudden, like he didn't think they were exclusive. So then Lisa pointed out the fireplace because right above it were all these pictures of Stan and his exes. And Lisa said it is super disrespectful. What I'm confused about is, wasn't he married for 30 years? So I'm curious if all these exes on the wall are actually exes, or maybe they're sugar babies, kind of like Lisa was. But Stan didn't understand what was wrong with it. And Lisa thinks all these pictures of Stan and his exes are like trophies to him, and he likes to show them off. So Stan said none of the pictures are of him and his exes hugging and kissing, and they're just there to remember the good memories they had. And Stan assured Lisa that he doesn't communicate with any of his exes that are featured on his wall. So Lisa called him out and said, "Yeah, you do. You talk to Tina, you talk to so-and-so on the phone here and there." And Stan was like, "Don't you talk to any of your exes?" And Lisa said, "No, but how about I go get pictures of me and my husband and hang them all over the wall and see how you feel?" And then Stan said, "All right, I get your point. I'll take them down." And Lisa was like, "I shouldn't have had to ask you to do that." And Stan was like, "Well, I never knew that it was a big deal because you never said anything." So Lisa tells Stan the real reason she showed up this morning is because she wanted to go talk to a pastor and get some guidance on the relationship. And Stan told Lisa that he would go with her. So Stan said him and his wife were married for over 30 years, but they never did no counseling together because they never needed it. But Stan said God is good. He's the ultimate Alpha Romeo. Whatever the heck that means. What does that mean, Stan? Alpha Romeo? What are you talking about? So anyways, Stan believes that Lisa and him praying together will get their relationship back on track. So Lisa made Stan go change his clothes, and Lisa said if Stan doesn't go to church and admit to his wrongdoings, then it's over. So Lisa and Stan, they head to church, and Lisa said she has never had a relationship with God until this last time she went to prison. And when she met Stan, she thought her relationship with him would be different because of the spiritual connection between them. But she said that Stan talked a big game while she was in prison, like he had this super close relationship with God. But now that she's out of prison, she says it seems like his relationship with God is pretty much non-existent. And Lisa thought that since Stan was in a marriage for over 30 years, she thought he would be a good husband, but at this point she says she doesn't know anymore. So then the pastor comes out once they get to the church. He shakes their hands and asks them how long they've known each other. And Lisa, she starts spilling all the tea. She's like, yeah, I've been to prison a few times, and we met before the last time I went to prison, and we met for ungodly reasons. And then she told the pastor, yeah, we met on one of the apps where you hook up with people and they pay you for sex. Then the pastor, he didn't know what to say. He just glances over at Stan, and Stan said, I don't think that was the case, but we already know that's the case. On one of the first few episodes Stan was ever on, he said he met Lisa on Syncing Arrangements, and the name of the website is exactly what it sounds like. So the pastor told Stan and Lisa, look, I think you guys got a few problems, but the biggest is you guys have a major foundation problem. You guys are trying to build on top of something, but what are you building with? Then Lisa told the pastor about Stan texting back and forth with an ex, and Stan said, look, an ex texts me and I just text back saying, how are you doing? Then Lisa said she wants a commitment, and the pastor asked Stan what was the basis for Stan to continue the relationship. So Lisa said it was all about sex when it comes to Stan. And Stan was like, how is it that when we haven't even had sex for a long time? And Stan was like, look, I care about her and I can't help myself that I want to be passionate with her, but I love being with her even when we aren't having sex. Then Lisa, she started crying and she told Stan that he makes her miserable. She said the Stan she met in prison was kind, sweet, and spiritual, and now Lisa said she is so miserable that she wishes sometimes that she was back in her prison cell. And that's pretty bad when you would rather be in prison than with Stan. So Lisa said since she's been free, things have been super stressful because not only does she have the weight of the world on her shoulders, but she feels like she has a cloak of burdens, and she said it really sucks. So the pastor questioned where the foundation is, and he said what was under the foundation with their relationship was rotten. So Stan told producers that he really wishes that Lisa would just give him a chance because he really believes that they could have something really good. And Lisa said she has no idea where to go with it, and the pastor said it kind of sounds like you already know what you need to do. And it kind of seems like Lisa really almost has her mind made up, but it makes sense now because, spoiler alert, Lisa has a new boyfriend. She posted him on Facebook a few weeks ago. Not sure what happened with Stan. Last we knew, she blackmailed Stan like a month ago, posting inappropriate pictures of her and Stan. And then a few weeks later, she's got a new boo. But that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.